Good morning to you all, and welcome to the FAQs on Study in Canada, a COVID-19 special. My name is Ganga Dandapani, and I'm Senior Vice President at CanAm. Today's webinar 3 topic would include admissions to the September 2020 intake and applying now for a student visa. In fact, webinar 1 and 2 links have already been emailed to many of you in case you wish to listen to them again or you wish to forward it to your friends. If you have not received the webinar 1 and 2 links, please ensure that you ask your question here in the chat box and mention your email address, the city of your choice, city of your location, and that you need the webinar 1 and 2 links. Now, we've made this an FAQ special addressing common questions in webinar 2 related to our topic today. Contents of webinar 3: 2 minutes on who's CanAm, 2 minutes study options for 10+2 students completed or currently pursuing, 3 minutes on study options for bachelor's/master's degree holders completed or currently pursuing, 10 minutes on the 10 most common FAQs that were asked related to this topic, and half a minute on the next webinar date, time, and topic. Now, who is CanAm? I know most of you know who CanAm is, but to give you a formal introduction, we at CanAm are pioneers in career counseling for students headed to Canada for the past 24 years, almost a quarter century. Please listen to the videos on our website to hear what top universities and colleges of Canada have to say about CanAm counselors and services. CanAm is very special to Canada. We send the largest number of students to Canada, and we are the oldest and licensed consultants for Canada. Anurag Sandhu, our CEO, is an ICCRC member, Immigration Consultants of Canada Regulatory Council, which means that we are Canadian government licensed consultants for visa processes. As a student, you don't just apply for admissions, you also need to apply for a visa. You need to understand what are the job opportunities, what are the career outcomes, whether you will have a post-study work permit or not, how will you be able to apply for permanent residency. All of that requires you to be able to get information from a licensed consultant. There are no consultants across India who can claim this combination of pioneering experience of almost a quarter century with licensing while promoting Canadian education, careers, and pathways to permanent residency in Canada. So we've discussed the different types of educational institutions in webinar 2, that is the government-funded universities, government-funded colleges, private universities, private colleges in Quebec, and private colleges across the rest of Canada, and also the postgraduate work permit possible after finishing your study with each of these options. However, many of you rightly asked us as to what are the education qualification options for you at these different institutions for the undergrads and postgrads separately. Fair enough. So we prepared a quick reckoner for you to understand the options after year 12 or after a bachelor's or master's degree. But please note that the programs you qualify for would depend upon your profile. That means your academics, if you have any work experience, your IELTS scores, all of that would totally determine which programs you would qualify for. Also, current availability of program and seats for the next intake will not last for long. Because do remember that there were a lot of students who deferred from the May intake into the September intake. And therefore, not many seats may be available for the current intake if you do not apply soon. Connect with Team CanAm for possible options for your profile. Here we go. Study options for 10+2 students completed or currently pursuing. Now, I'm going to give you a wide range of options. Doesn't mean that each one of you will choose each option. You need to know what are the options available as a 10+2 student so that you can make the right choice for yourself. You could apply for a university or a college bachelor's degree of 3 or 4 years. Most of the universities and all colleges offer 4 years bachelor's degrees. There are some universities which offer 3 years bachelor's degrees. Now you would say, what is the advantage of that? Okay, advantage of a 3 years degree. Well, employers don't differentiate between a 3 years degree or a 4 years degree. So whether you have a 3 years bachelor's degree from Canada or a 4 years bachelor's degree from Canada, employers are going to look at you as a bachelor's degree holder and employ you on the basis of that. Also, same points in comprehensive ranking system. When you apply for permanent residency, when you qualify under a certain program for immigration, and then you go to the express entry pool, there's something called the CRS, Comprehensive Ranking Systems points. For you to get picked up for permanent residency, your points have to be high. So in that comprehensive ranking system, you get the same number of points for a 3 years bachelor's degree or a 4 years bachelor's degree. And at the same time, the fees and living cost that you are paying is only for 3 years. So you're saving. It's a little more affordable for you if you're going in for a 3 years bachelor's degree. And you get into the job market faster, a year earlier, and you would qualify for your permanent residency after your postgraduate work permit, work experience 1 year earlier. What is the limitation? Well, if you later wish to apply for a master's degree at a Canadian university, it would need you to have a 4-year degree. So you would need to do 1 more year of post-secondary education at that time. But if at that time you are already a permanent resident in Canada, the tuition fee that you will pay would be far much less as a domestic student. The other option is the university transfer programs. Now, UTP is generally for those students who aspire to study at a top university, but do not have the grades to enter directly into a university for a bachelor's degree. So UTP is basically meant for these students who are just at the borderline, just a little bit more, and they could have made it to the university, but they couldn't because of slightly lower grades. Now, University Transfer Program or UTP and pathways leading to degrees at top Canadian university in the 2+2 format or 1+3 format. There are feeder colleges, in fact, a large number of them in British Columbia. This UTP is very, very strong in British Columbia. So a large number of colleges offer the UTP programs. And once you have the required grades or CGP as it's called, you could enter into a top-end university as long as you have a high CGP. And also the other option is like what Navitas provides. They have a college called FIC on the campus of Simon Fraser University, and they have a college called ICN on the campus of University of Manitoba, which allow you to do the first year in the college in much smaller classroom with much lesser number of students and more number of classes per week, so that you come up to the level of the rest of the students, and in the second year you join the rest of the students at the university. So these options are also available to UTP. Now, associate degrees of 2 years at private and public colleges at some of the universities or colleges. Now, associate degree, loosely explained, is like half a bachelor's degree. It is an academic program and it is for 2 years. It's a complete qualification by itself. So you can get a 3 years postgraduate work permit. You could qualify for a 3 years postgraduate work permit after you complete a 2 years associate degree. And of course, it becomes economical for a student who is unable to pay a full 4-year tuition fees for a bachelor's degree. He can do the associate degree, get his postgraduate work permit, get work experience, apply for permanent residency once he qualifies. And then once he gets to become a permanent resident, he could complete the other 2 years of university degree and get himself a degree later on in life at any university. Then another option that is available for 10+2 students is at the government funded colleges that we discussed about in webinar 2. 2 to 3 year diplomas in public colleges with the option of transfer to degrees anytime later in life. These are complete qualifications and they are skill-based programs aimed at the job market with a lot of industry partnerships and a lot of co-ops in those programs. Now we come to the wide range of study options for bachelor's or master's degree holders, those who completed or are currently pursuing. Please note again, these are a wide range of options. Each one of the options may not be suitable for you. You've got to identify what is the most suitable option, but I'll tell you what are the options available. You can discuss with your CanAm counselor to figure out what is the most suitable option. One or two of the options. You could apply for one or two options. Now, note, we do hope you watched our webinar 1 and 2 so that you can understand this better. Okay, graduate certificate options. The graduate certificate could also be referred to as post-baccalaureate or post-degree diploma in different provinces or different colleges, but they basically mean the same. It is kind of a certificate of 1 year or 2 years available for a student who already holds a bachelor's degree or a diploma. And these are available at various public colleges across Canada. These are industry-specific, skill-based certifications aimed at the job market. Now, you could also, the 1 year program would qualify you for a 1 year postgraduate work permit like we discussed in webinar 2. And 2 years diploma or a certificate would qualify you for a 3 years postgraduate work permit. You could also do a 1+1, one year graduate certificate with another 1 year graduate certificate to qualify for a 3 years postgraduate work permit. Again, this is something we discussed in webinar 2 in detail. Highly specialized 2 year post-secondary diplomas in public colleges. Now, some students could wonder, like, after the bachelor's degree, how would I go in for a 2 year post-secondary diploma? Yeah, fair enough. But sometimes what happens is, let's take an example. Let's say you are you have a degree in architecture, a bachelor's degree holder in architecture, and you've always wanted to specialize in, let's say, interior decoration or maybe landscape architecture. So how would you do that? Now, these government-funded colleges offer highly specialized 2 year post-secondary diplomas in these fields. So going for a program like this does not mean that you're downgrading yourself, but it just means that you're adding another skill and making yourself more employable in the same field. But yes, if you already are a bachelor's in business and you want to go for a 2 year post-secondary diploma in business, now that does not make sense. I hope I'm clear with this. Fast-track diploma programs from various colleges for degree or diploma holders. You can complete a 3 year post-secondary diploma in 2 years through the lateral entry into the second year. Because you already hold a degree or a diploma, you can go into the second year and then do the second and third year, complete the whole 3 year program in 2 years. Get a second degree from some Canadian universities in 2 years. Now, usually 3 year degree holders choose this option. If you have a bachelor's degree of 3 years from India and you're looking for a degree in a Canadian university and you're unable to qualify, let's say, for any master's degree in Canada, students do choose a second degree from a Canadian university, which you can complete in 2 years because you already have a bachelor's degree. Some universities offer a second degree. So you could complete another bachelor's degree. Let's say if you already got a bachelor's degree in business and you choose a program degree in accounting. So that gives you a specialized certification. You can take those exams and you can be a CPA as well. So that degree allows you to become more employable and you get a degree from a Canadian university. Now, few pre-master's options leading to master's degrees for those who do not qualify directly for a master's degree. There are not too many pre-master's options in Canada, but there are some. So you could choose some of those, speak to your CanAm counselor and see what you qualify for. Now, there are MBA degrees. Some of them accept students without work experience. Some of them also accept 15 years of education. Some of them could also accept without GMAT. So you just need to identify what is your profile and how does it match the requirement of an MBA degree, and you could apply for them. But do note that MBA tuition fees will be a little on the higher side, because many of these MBA degrees are accredited, highly accredited MBA degrees. So the tuition fees will be high, therefore you'll have to manage that finances. Other master's degrees, few even accept 3-year bachelor's degrees with or without GRE or GMAT. And then of course, the last option available is also a PhD for a master's degree student. And now we come to the 10 most common FAQs that have been asked by you all in the past webinar related to today's topic. FAQ 1. Can I defer to January 2021 after making my tuition fee payment for September? A lot of you asked this question. Considering the current circumstances, yes, fair enough, this question is very important. Yes, you can defer even after making a tuition fee payment, depending upon seat and program availability in Jan 2021. You need to check that with your counselor. You have to check whether the program that you've applied for in September, is that available in Jan 2021? Then you can defer your admission. The colleges and universities give preference of deferral of admission to students who have already made a tuition fee payment as compared to students who have not paid the tuition fee as yet. And very important for you, always read and understand refund policies fully before making any fee payments. All admission offers have refund policies on tuition fee payments. To consult your CANAM counselor, ensure that you understand the refund policies completely. You can't change the refund policy, but you understand the refund policy. If that is acceptable to you, please go ahead and make the tuition fee payment. FAQ 2. What is the cost of living in Canada? As per the Canadian High Commission, these are requirements. A student needs to provide evidence of a guaranteed investment certificate known as GIC for 10,000 Canadian dollars, signifying that they expect an international student to spend close to that amount every year for their living expenses. However, the cost of living will definitely vary depending upon which city you're in and the lifestyle that you wish to maintain. Canada allows you to work 20 hours a week, part-time, off-campus and on-campus, while studying full-time at a designated learning institute. Again, DLI is something we discussed in webinar 2. Some study programs also include work experience as a part of their curriculum, known as co-op. Co-ops can be paid most of the time. Students can thus earn wages through part-time work and co-op. I hope that answers your question on cost of living in Canada. FAQ 3. Can my spouse get a work permit when I study? There were some of you who are asking this question. Your spouse may be eligible for an open work permit if you have a valid study permit and are a full-time student at one of these types of schools, a public post-secondary school such as college or university or a CEGEP in Quebec, basically government-funded universities or colleges, or a CEGEP in Quebec, or a private college in Quebec, or a private Canadian university or a college that can legally award degrees under provincial law, for example, bachelor's, master's, or a doctorate degree. Under such conditions, definitely your spouse can get a work permit, and your spouse's work permit will be valid for the same period as your study permit. FAQ 4. What is express entry? I don't blame you for asking this. This is a very confusing question. A lot of people have doubts and they are not able to understand what is this express entry. Very simply explained, express entry is a points-based comprehensive ranking system to qualify for permanent residency, wherein you get the points for your age, all the qualifications that you have, educational qualifications, extra points for Canadian diplomas or degrees that you may have, work experience from India and from Canada, extra points for work experience from Canada, language proficiency including both English and French. So a lot of students do try and do French so that they can get extra points on that. Spouse's profile if married, which is offer, blood relatives in Canada, out of a maximum total of 1200 points. is distributed between all these factors. Now, the IRCC, which is the Immigration Department of Canada, pulls out a draw after every 2 to 3 weeks and invites those with the highest points to apply for Canadian PR, permanent residency. The current cutoffs are in the region of 450 to 475. Please note, only licensed immigration consultants can give you detailed information about this. Team CanAm is authorized to guide you through the immigration processes of study permit, postgraduate work permit, and permanent residency in Canada. There's another related question, which is FAQ 5. Can we expect an invitation to apply ITA for CRS points below 440? Now, the invitation to apply really depends upon your ranking among the number of high quality applicants in the express entry pool. Now, there are 3 ways in which you qualify yourself as, for immigration, and these are the different programs called the Federal Skilled Worker, Federal Skilled Trade, or the Canadian Experience Class. So, your ITA depends upon your ranking among the number of high quality applicants in the express entry pool and which immigration pool they want the people from. If IRCC wants people from Federal Skilled Worker, they will pick up from there. Or if they want people from Federal Skilled Trade, they pick up from there. If they want people from Canadian Experience Class, they pick up from there. Like we discussed in webinar 2, a large number of international students apply through the Canadian Experience Class or CEC, because that needs you to have a 1 year of Canadian work experience, which is much easier for a student to get because of the postgraduate work permit that is available for them. Now, we can never predict exactly how the next draw is going to be. In fact, on 1st May, there was a round of draw, and that was only for Canadian Experience Class, and it stopped at 452 points. Now, if your comprehensive ranking system CRS score is low, which is what your question is about, can we expect an ITA for CRS points below 440? If your CRS score is low, waiting for a round of draw to come down might not be a good idea. You could try to increase your scores by various methods, like take up further education in Canada, because your Canadian qualifications give you extra points. If you have a 2-year diploma or a 1-year diploma or a certificate, you get 15 points. If you have a bachelor's degree or a master's degree in Canada, you get 30 points. Now, gaining work experience in Canada with your postgraduate work permit, every year of work experience gives you extra points. Choose to study at a PNP location, Provincial Nominee Program location. In webinar 4, we will be starting to discuss from webinar 4 onwards, we will start to discuss about PNP locations as well. So choose to study at a PNP location. If you have a Provincial Nominee Program invite, then you get another 600 points for that. You can take French exams. Depending upon the level of French qualification, you can get 15 points or 30 points. Retake your language exam, maybe like CELPIP, to increase your scores. So these are all the ways in which you can increase your CRS scores. Don't wait for the CRS scores to come down, but you increase your points so that you're more likely to be invited. Now, Team CanAm can help you as a licensed consultant to find the most suitable option to boost your employability in Canada and also your CRS scores. Now, FAQ 6. I hold an admission offer for September 2020. When do I apply for a student visa? Today also some of you are asking this question. Please listen to the answer. The IRCC is still accepting online applications, although the outcomes are currently slow. Please note, there is lockdown and people are working from home. The outcomes will be slow. Medical appointments, however, have already begun in many cities. My counselors tell me that, in various cities, the medical appointments have already begun. The students are already applying for medicals. So we expect that biometrics could also be soon to follow. Also, I think they're allowing a period of time within which you can do your biometrics. You can file your visa online first. We are advising students to get the rest of their documents ready as per the checklist and then apply at the earliest possible opportunity. We expect a sudden rush of applications the moment the offices open again. and the decision time will definitely be impacted. Alert. Please consult only an ICCRC licensed immigration consultant and apply ASAP for your student visa. Do not take chances with your visa and your career. FAQ 7. Again, this was one of the questions which was asked quite a bit. Today also some of you have asked this question. I applied to universities a long time back and I'm awaiting an offer. How long do I wait? Officials of universities and colleges are also working from home, like all of us, and it has impacted the time taken by them to release offers of acceptance. I must tell you that I'm sure you've been watching the videos which I've been interviewing various universities and colleges. Almost 50 of them are there on our Can-Am Group website. And so in the past 6 to 7 weeks, I've spoken to about 55 to 50, almost 60 universities and college delegates across Canada. And they've all said the same thing to me. Look, it's taking time because we are working from home. Having said that, the Can-Am admissions team are in close contact with them on an everyday basis. Applications coming from Can-Am are given priority by most Canadian colleges and universities, as Can-Am is a preferred partner with most of the universities and colleges. So if you applied on your own or through some other consultant and are still waiting for a decision, do connect with Team Can-Am. You would need to follow a simple authorization process, and in most cases, we can follow up with your concerned institute and request them to expedite your offers. FAQ 8. I have an IELTS of 5.5 bands in 2 modules. Can I study in Canada? Now, this was again a very popular question. If you have a 5.5 band in 1 or 2 modules in IELTS, you can choose to 1. Retake your exam through the remote testing TOEFL or Duolingo or Kale. Kale is launching online soon, from the comfort of your home, and try to improve your scores. Because of COVID-19, the universities and colleges are being very flexible and accepting these tests. They never did before. So feel free to avail this benefit. Or you can still apply for institutes which accept IELTS 5.5 in 1 or 2 of the modules. There are around 60 such institutes to choose from. So the choice is fairly large. Of course, your choice reduces, but then you still have 60 institutes to choose from. Team Can-Am may also find solutions in the form of medium of instruction, MOI as it's popularly called, medium of instruction letters from your school or college, and explore other options best suited to your profile. In fact, there are some of the colleges which also conduct their own online placement test as well. So even that could be possible. Do connect with your Can-Am counselor and they will give you the most info. In fact, the one advantage of COVID-19 has been flexibility in admissions for you. Just make the most of it now. For visas, please note, you can apply for a visa in the general category with these options. Do make sure that you choose Can-Am, an ICCRC licensed immigration consultant, to guide you with the visas. Now, FAQ 9. Since there are travel restrictions to Canada, is there an alternative to start studying in Canada? You won't believe it. Just this morning, I had to change the contents of this slide, the answers to this slide, because last night when we were sleeping, Canada was away and they made a policy announcement. So I had to now, this morning, I woke up to it. I said, wow, we have the latest answer to this question. Here it is. News about the flexibility in Canadian post-graduation work permit rule from Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, the Department of Immigration. Post-graduation work permit eligibility will not be affected for international students whose fall 2020 courses, fall is September 2020. Fall 2020 courses will be online due to COVID-19. This is in line with guidance provided to students already studying in Canada or whose program had a spring or September start or summer start date. I saw some of you asking some questions also related to the postgraduate work permit for September start. So here is your answer. However, please note other conditions as well. Students in this situation may begin their classes while outside Canada and complete up to 50% of their program via distance learning. if they cannot travel to Canada sooner. In addition, they will not have time deducted from the length of a future post-graduation work permit for studies completed outside of Canada up to December 31st, 2020. Please discuss with your CanAm counselor and understand the meaning of all these conditions before you decide what you need to do, whether you go on to study online or you want to defer to the next intake. Do watch our webinar series, FAQs on studying Canada, regularly for our updates, because we will continuously keep giving you updates, whether it's to do with immigration, whether it's to do with anything. Now we come to the last question, FAQ 10. Can I apply after a visa rejection? There were quite a few of you who asked this question. Yes, you can apply after a visa rejection. You can apply again. The Canadian High Commission gives an option to a student to reapply if a student thinks he or she can counter the concern raised by the visa officer. Prior to applying or reapplying, you should ensure that either you or your representative or consultant thoroughly understands the visa requirements and the concerns of the visa officer in the refusal letter. Now, a refusal letter will have the concerns which are raised by the visa officer. So you need to address those concerns. You need to be able to satisfactorily answer those questions so that a visa can be granted. This can be a tad difficult for you if you or your consultant are not licensed to understand the immigration law. Mr. Anurag Sandhu, CEO, CanAm, is an ICCRC certified immigration consultant. So you can approach us for advice and analysis on your application or reapplication. If you've not been asking your questions, now's the time. Please ask your questions. Click on the chat button and you will see a chat panel open on the right side. Post your questions with your email ID, city, and your question, and a CanAm expert closest to you will certainly contact you and give you your answers. Your questions should be related to our webinar for FAQs and rural and northern immigration pilot. This is one of the PNP options. It's very relevant to students who are choosing the location of study. So please ask your questions related to that. The webinar will be on 22nd May 2020 at 11:30. To attend that, please go to our website www.canamgroup.com. Register online there. You will see a banner which says webinar 4. Register online there. You will receive an email with video links of this webinar and the past 2 webinars with mobile numbers of CanAm experts in your cities, and you could contact them for all your queries. When you go to the CanAm Group website, don't forget to watch the video messages from the various Canadian universities and colleges. Like I told you, I've been interviewing them over the past 6 to 8 weeks. They're all giving us the latest updates because of the COVID-19 situation. What are the flexible options they're giving for admissions? What are the COVID bursaries or scholarships? What are the new way? What is the new norm there? How are they managing the students? What are the extra facilities they're giving to the students? All of those things are mentioned in those video messages. There are, and I think they're all very short videos, nothing more than 5 minutes. So go ahead, look at the universities and colleges that you're interested in, click on them, watch the videos, you'll get the latest updates. And then of course you can connect with a CanAm counselor to get more information in the program of study, whether you qualify or not.